Let's explore the Vatican Museums entirely empty. It's an extraordinary experience I want to share with you. How extraordinary is it to visit the Vatican Museums before it opens its doors to the public? That's what you can do with live tours. Let's go inside. Founded by Pope Julius II in 1506, the Vatican Museums began with the acquisition of the Laocoon Group. Over 5 centuries, successive popes expanded the collection into one of the world's greatest repositories of art, archaeology, and ideology. Today, the museums include over 70,000 artworks, ranging from ancient Egypt to Renaissance masterpieces, spread across nearly 7 kilometers of galleries. Today, we'll be getting our hands on the keys to open up the Vatican Museums before the tourists arrive. It's the crack of dawn, and we are accompanied by our Live Tours guide and the clavigero, the Vatican's keymaster in charge of hundreds of keys to open countless rooms in the vast collection.
All right, ready for my moment to open up Vatican Museums.
Look at this. All this space, the Vatican, one of the most crowded venues in the world. But when you open it up, it's intimate. It's so special, so priceless.
Some of the magic of being in the Vatican Museums when you're opening the place door by door.
Here, we're in an empty courtyard of the Pina, dating to the 16th century, designed by Bramante. Now, it's named after the giant Roman bronze pine cone fountain of the 1st to 2nd centuries AD, found in the remains in the Baths of Agrippa, standing nearly 4 meters high, designed by Publius Quinctius Salvinus. The Proconesian marble capital underneath it, with carved human figures, is found in the nearby Baths of Alexander Severus in the Campus Martius, and placed here in modern papal collections linked by the Vatican Library and newer museum wings. In this position, only in 1704, Grand Renaissance Courtyard, uniting ancient and modern papal collections linked by the Vatican Library and newer museum wings. This is Museo Pio Clementino, founded in 1771 by Pope Clement XIV and expanded by Pius VI. Its focus is on classical sculpture, particularly Greek and Roman masterpieces. Key works include the colossal statues in the Hall of the Rotunda, as well as the Laocoon Group, the Pala Belvedere, and the Belvedere Torso.
The empty Vatican, some of the choicest pieces in the entire ancient Roman world. Every single room is a masterpiece. Here's the Torso Belvedere. We can admire it from every angle. And it was an inspirational piece to artists, including Michelangelo. We'll see the Torso Belvedere all over the Sistine Chapel.
The Egyptian collection, Museo Gregoriano Egizio, was founded in 1839 by Gregory XVI, and its focus is on the rich collection of Egyptian culture. And yes, there are works of art directly brought in from Egypt, but there are also artifacts from Roman sites, like Villa Adriana and the Temple of Isis in the Campus Martius.
The Egyptian collection is fascinating because so many things come from sites in Rome. From the Campus Martius, you have the Temple of Isis, and you have remains of works of art from Egypt. This is a great collection, and it's usually wall to wall with people. In the morning, I have it totally to myself.
The Katamonte Museum, original name Katamonte, was created by Pope Pius VII in the early 19th century. And here you have a sculptural corridor with over 1,000 ancient Roman busts, portraits, sarcophagi. And its style is Enlightenment-era classification with a portrait gallery merged with that idea of a warehouse of classical artifacts. In addition, you have the later extension in Braccio Nuovo, the new wing, between 1817 and 1822, a neoclassical wing designed by Raffaele Stern, and it includes great works of art, including the Augustus of Prima Porta and the reclined river god figure of the Nile that we attribute to the Temple of Isis in the Campus Martius. The Hall of the Candelabra, Galleria dei Candelabri, dates to the late 18th century, the decorative program renewed in the 19th century, featuring extraordinary amount of Roman sculpture, monumental candelabra, and decorative marble columns. The Hall of Tapestries, Galleria degli Arazzi, includes tapestries designed between 1523 and 1534 by Raphael's workshop for Pope Clement VII of the Medici family. You have a Life of Christ cycle created for the Sala dei Concistoro in the Apostolic Palace, woven in Brussels of silk and gold thread. The second series is a later allegorical cycle of the triumph of the Church, with theatrical, opulent scenes commissioned by the Baroque Pope Urban VIII Barberini in the 17th century. Hall of the Maps, Galleria delle Carte Geografiche. This extraordinary hall and its decorations date between 1580 and 1585 under Pope Gregory XIII and the artist Ignazio Danti, a Dominican friar who is a mathematician and a geographer. And you have 40 fresco topographical maps of Italy that are simply extraordinary. And it was a way to visually unify the entire Italian peninsula. That's part propaganda and part science, dividing the peninsula into definitive regions. It is absolutely extraordinary. And of course, the stuccoed ceiling is a complement to the depiction of Italy in the series of frescoes. Maybe one of the most famous things in the Vatican Museums, the Raphael rooms, the Stanze di Raffaello. Painted between 1508 and 1524, these are the papal apartments for Julius II and his successors. So let's review these incredible rooms. The Room of the Segnatura, 1508 to 1511. It was a library and a private office and used for signing documents, hence the name Segnatura. Here we have the famous School of Athens, the Disputa, the cardinal and theological virtues, and the Parnassus Hill, celebrating theology, philosophy, poetry, and law. Here is the Room of Heliodorus, 1511 to 1514. It's a reception and audience hall for papal power and divine intervention, showing scenes like the expulsion of Heliodorus, the Mass at Bolsena, the liberation of St. Peter. Here is the Room of the Fire in the Borgo, 1514, 1517. It served as a dining hall with political allegories and papal heroism. Fire of the Borgo, the miracle of Leo IV. The Battle of Ostia, the oath of Leo III. Here is the recently restored Room of Constantine, painted mostly by Raphael's students, 1517 to 1524. It served as a place of official state and religious functions. We have the triumph of Christianity, Constantine's victory at the Milvian Bridge, his baptism, and his donations to the church.
So much incredible history in these rooms. And if they could speak, the guests of the popes that were here over the centuries. And of course, it's an extraordinary experience as a visitor. And what you have right here, one of my favorites, is the School of Athens. To have this experience, to view it empty, is priceless.
And finally, the Sistine Chapel, built from 1473 to 1481 under Pope Sixtus IV. The ceiling was painted by Michelangelo, 1508 to 1512. Michelangelo painted The Last Judgment, 1536 to 1541 under Pope Paul III. And its function? Well, for the papal conclave, selecting the Pope, as well as a ceremonial chapel. Michelangelo's frescoes redefined religious space with body and spirit in a cosmic tension.
All good things come to an end. Extraordinary opportunity. Take advantage of it if you can. Go to the Vatican early. You will not regret it.
So this tour was just a taste of the incredible experience of opening up the Vatican Museums. I would like to thank again Live Tours for the exceptional visit, and I encourage you all to plan your own visit to Rome with plenty of lead time to enjoy the splendors of the Eternal City. Don't forget you can tour with me around the Mediterranean. Just go to unlockedrome.com and I'll see you somewhere in the Mediterranean.